You guys good for crit?
Yeah. Of course, this place was gonna have cool loot.
And ghoul.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's start it.
But welcome to Crit Files, everybody. We're here. We're in the thick of it, and let's just get into it. So, we've been infiltrating the Drescue compound now, and things got off to a bit of a rocky start with Ace trying to murder an accountant.
Well, I mean, our infiltration into the place was smooth.
It was
great.
It was great.
The whole
Very,
last episode
very
was
good.
very smooth. We got a lot of great rolls.
Yeah.
We were being very smooth with our talk.
Smart and
We had wormed our way into the inner circle, and then this bookkeeper showed us the records of the whole operation, and suddenly we snapped.
We turned into ravenous
when
murder
something
hobos.
good happens, we gotta make something bad happen. That's
I had a whole bit of like exposition
We gotta
for
balance
Kellogg
out
to explain all the details and what was going on, and
He would
I
have
had that all
showed
just in my
us.
back pocket, and then
He would have
didn't.
showed
Hey
us
guys, here's the way
everything.
out. Here's the prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely driving here, and I was thinking about, well, I just closed a door, and there's this guy who reminds me an awful lot of Levi. Like, he is an accountant for the Drescues,
Yeah.
and, like, I could just imagine Ace going into his father's office and seeing him working on all of his paperwork, and little kid Ace being like, "Hey, Dad, let's go throw the football around or something." And
Okay.
his dad just being like, "No, I gotta work," and Ace just feeling like, "Oh, he loves his work, his books and his papers more than he loves me," and then I just go out and do bad things with my friends, and
Hold them in a fire.
and I feel like it made sense in my mind to be like, you know what, I'll give him a choice. If my dad loves me, he would just go home to me and not worry about his books anymore. But
It's a weird rationalization for hurting innocent people.
if he doesn't love me, then I guess we'll just burn him alive.
I like the parallel though. That's
Yeah, I could see that.
I see the motivation. I was
a little like thrown at first when you were asking him about his kids, and I was like, "Oh, good threat! Like you're gonna basically say like you can go to your kids, you can do this, whatever. Like good."
It was more about Ace than it was about him.
Right, exactly. And so when it kind of came back to you and stuff, I was like, "What?" I was a little confused at first, but
Yeah, no,
I like that motivation.
I kind of, I imagined it was all in Ace's head, really, more than anything. He was just imagining him as like an adult saying, "Hey, go play with your son. Go get away from these bad people who do bad things."
Which is funny because it's like, if somebody said that, you would be like, "What?
What the fuck?"
Yeah, like there's no right answer to that. Like,
I love my
I was gonna
Wouldn't you
play
rather
with.
be with them?
I have to
when I get off work. Yeah, I was gonna do that.
This job isn't just a paycheck; it's also the health insurance for my sick child.
And that's capitalism, baby. But yeah, no, I felt like I pretty thoroughly thought it out on my way here, and I probably could have been delivered better. But at the same time, I love the idea of just like looting this room, and I also thought of your bag of holding, and I'm like, we could just put everything in this entire room in the bag of
First
holding.
time I've ever thought about using it.
And honestly,
And if we took that to Levi would be so happy. And then I was just like, well, but Ace is a fuck up, and he wouldn't think of that.
this is such a great situation for it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
think of all the wealth of knowledge you got, and now whatever we're picking up in these.
What am I gonna do with all this stuff?
I don't know. I'm excited to like inventory it.
Yeah.
That's.
Wonder what the orb does.
And we murdered some
You'll
guys
find
really
out.
well.
Got an orb.
I wonder what these gloves and this dagger do.
Oh yeah, all of the soldiers in the middle ring are all the veteran stat block, which was the guys you first killed in Quilton. Those were the two captains. Like those were the beefy guys.
Yeah.
And so all of these guys, like the
We've
regular
come a
guards
long
here,
ways.
are that veteran.
It had a sense of familiarity to it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen these moves before.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
why
I
you
know
were
this
so
training.
excited. We made a joke about you killing these people at the beginning, and it really is. It's come full circle again.
What was that?
What?
Huh.
It's me going, yes.
So I
Yes.
think a big moment was when Big Craig wouldn't fit in the.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
gosh.
yeah. Well, you
And
got to
God
make a
bless you,
decision on
Dash.
Big Craig.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself that
it was too soon.
originally I was thinking to myself, like, I'll just go up here. I won't tell anybody. And then I started thinking, well, maybe I should tell somebody. And I was wondering, like, who am I going to use message on? And I figured I would use it on Simon.
And he showed up.
And he showed up and came anyway, but then he
Yeah.
alerted everybody, which created a little bit of a dilemma with the Craig thing. But then it did lead to this very noble, cool moment of like, well, let's just go bring the fight to them. And I liked the realization that, like, oh, well, we do got 4 people.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
We
let's-
got plenty of, yeah. I mean, we definitely have some numbers. But I didn't want, I don't know. Big Craig's been with us for a hot second now.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to leave him behind. Also, I just thought it'd be cool to like go out with my weird skeleton minion.
No, it was
It's
super
weird. I've
cool.
had more loyalty to this skeleton than I've had to anyone else.
But that's that's like the same way, like with like me and Corgan and Dorgan. You know,
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know,
I don't know what it is about D&D, but for some reason I don't know why
we become the best bosses.
PCs always gravitate towards the weirdest NPCs. I get some weird like protective thing about the NPC the DM made just because, and then they were like, "Wait, you like this guy?" And they're like, "No, I
Right.
love him, and I will die for fart fuck the goblin."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Okay."
Oh yeah.
But
That's,
where is
that's so
where's
D&D.
Morgan? Where's Morgan? Dash?
Morgan?
Yeah. See, he doesn't even remember.
Does he even remember?
I don't know who's Morgan.
Your guy.
One of the Corgan
Dash, I
and
need
Dorgan
you,
and
Dash,
Morgan.
tell us about Morgan. Everything you know.
Morgan.
Yes.
Remember him?
Everything you know about Morgan.
Doesn't even remember his name.
He was the guy. He was the guy that you got to join our boat right before, and then he went missing shortly after.
Oh.
You were gonna trade him, and he was gonna be your squire.
during
Oh,
the betrothal of
Yes,
you gave him
yeah.
a weapon.
It was a while
Maybe.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, he was gonna be. I was gonna like train him and stuff.
And you told him his name was Morgan because it rhymed with Corgan and Dorgan.
That's right.
I think we retconned that one. He's like, he's just Morgan.
I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he is, and I
Because
didn't.
you went immediately to the Port of Stone after that.
And we left him on the
just
boat.
left him on the boat with Corgan and Dorgan, went and did the vampire stuff, came back,
And they
Corgan
were
and
all
Dorgan
gone.
and Morgan,
Oh.
ship was gone.
Oh.
I hope
we
when we
haven't
see the
thought
next time we
twice
see
about it.
Morgan, you're just like, who?
He's like, Master, the only thing keeping me alive
Knight,
was
Sire, my devotion to you is what has kept me going. I can't wait to train under you. And I'm like, I don't know.
So when he sees you again, he's gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna work out. If I just want to go back home.
Or I like the idea that he's the only one that survived. Like Corgan and Dorgan are dead, and now like
He's got like
level
Corgan's
12.
armor and
Yeah.
Dorgan's weapon. I will avenge my battle brother.
He's like an adopted orc.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm like, you've sullied your oath to me.
You are an Oathbreaker paladin.
you are. I just
Be
he's like,
gone.
aren't you an Oathbreaker paladin? It's different when I do it.
I keep the other oaths to people like Big Craig.
So about how many people did we free here?
Yeah.
There's 2 dozen, so 24
Okay,
people.
so
half
we've-
of them are from Brighton, half of them are Corgan.
How about 2
And
bakers
Ghoul.
dozen?
And Ghoul. It's so
Dude,
cool
which
to
is
Ghoul
And we
Ghoul's
know
here.
that she's an
Ghoul.
adventurer too.
Yeah, she's like a great.
Right? I always
hero.
assumed that she was level 8 when she got to Quilton.
I love the idea of you guys freeing these prisoners and then looting the armory.
Yes.
And now we
What?
have.
Now you guys have kept saying armory.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
There was
armory?
the-
we passed an armory.
Yeah, the place that had.
I think that's one thing that Milo. It's one of those things where Milo says a thing,
yeah.
and I go, "What?" Because I go, "We've never. There's no armory."
I don't think I've ever
Okay,
mentioned
no,
an
there-
but
armory.
see, it's
No,
the way,
you haven't.
it's
no.
the way it works
Okay.
in it's the way it works in games in general,
I've
right?
got a map
Like,
of this place.
You're playing Counter-Strike, you're playing a map for the first time, and some dingling is like, "Yo, dude, come to the armory." And it's
But right,
called
but
the armory
what are
from
we
now on.
referencing?
Yeah, see, so
Doesn't matter.
He said armory, but I knew that there is no. Have not come across an armory.
He
we came
means the
across
warehouse.
barracks.
That's right.
We came across like.
well, there was a series of rooms.
There was
He
like
means
a
the
place
big
where people were
warehouse.
showering, as far as I remember.
That is
Yeah,
not an
but we-
armory, though.
There's an underground
And there-
lake.
there's got to be weapons.
what
and
I was
stuff
thinking
where people
is
shower.
he's saying armory in the hopes that Alex will be like, oh yeah, of course, like an armory, sure.
Like I know where an
but
armory
also
is here, but you
referencing-
haven't seen it.
I was speaking of like the guards we dispatched. We can just take their weapons
For sure.
and
That's
supply some,
easy enough.
because I have logic on my side.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying armory. I was like, what
armory.
the fuck is he talking
armory.
about? There's no armory. There's no armory.
Yeah, you're gonna be disappointed when you try and go to the armory.
Let me ask you this though, Alex.
Yeah.
If all of us, the 4 party members, had bought into this and
This
were
narrative,
adamant,
this reality bending
we're
narrative
adamant about this,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do?
Well, that's the thing is you just
Like if we
you've
were
gotta-
all so certain,
you
and
just have to
told you,
tell me what you're gonna do. But if you say go to the armory, I'm like, I don't know where that is. So I'm gonna tell you where. Well, like here was where you are. Tell me what you
So-
do.
so
I go this way.
We're all 4
where I
just
think
gonna
the armory
say
is.
we are at the armory now.
We're at the armory.
So
Yeah.
what do I find, Alex?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We have collectively
Yeah.
decided that we found the armory.
I think probably what I
Jean-Luc
was
Picard
thinking of.
shows up and says, "Computer and program. You're all court-martialed because you're not supposed to be here."
We're enemies of the Federation.
Not again.
I was probably thinking of the barracks.
Oh,
that's funny because you said
Also-
armory.
Also,
Armory.
there's
You
so
said
many
armory.
guards between that and
Nah.
you.
I know.
But
Yeah,
I just assumed you meant the
There's
warehouse.
like 30
honestly.
of us now.
I'm thinking of immediate, like the guards who just dispatched have some
Yeah,
people
that
arm
makes
themselves
sense.
with what they can.
And then you also say armory, and I'm imagining the locked room that me and Simon are in. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a magical armory.
well, and I just forget so much that I assumed that he knew what he was talking
You
about.
should
So I'm like, yeah,
never
let's go to the
assume
armory.
That I know
like,
what I'm talking
I
about.
was
No,
like, yeah,
I-
that makes
You heard
sense.
me do the recap, right?
it was a good recap.
It was a good recap, though.
Yeah. So
I
I feel
am-
like you lied to us.
I immediately knew you didn't know what you were saying, or you at least know that what you're saying is
Apparently, I
nonsense.
need to work on my.
No, I
radar.
just every
Should
time
always assume.
if Milo is like, "Well, let's go here," I go, "That's not real." Whatever he's saying, I know that it's definitely
No
not
matter
gonna be
how
real.
much confidence I put into
Yeah.
it.
It's just kind of like it's
Background
kind of like
noise.
talking to like a flat earther, where you're like, a lot of the things you say
Yeah.
aren't real.
Yeah.
You just do the mental like calculus to correct. what
Yeah,
they're
you
saying.
just kind of jump. You do gymnastics around the words they say
So
to
he's
be
saying
like,
armory, but what he really means.
I get what you're trying
Yeah.
to say, and I can kind of do the math.
They're like,
to
of
figure
course,
out,
I'm gonna travel spinward this weekend, and you're like, that's
okay.
west, but okay.
So what in this library that they found? Are there like super powerful items in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we keep going? What's the orb do?
You don't know?
Just metagame it.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Mystery orb.
I did write them down, so I'll go and do them. But I know I've got a list of scrolls for it.
Yeah.
Spellbooks are just valuable.
Is there a
None of you are
fireball?
wizards, so it doesn't matter.
Is there a fireball scroll in
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But you threw them all in your bag,
That's okay.
so you just got to be like Hope. Fireball spell? Oh, I got one. Fireball spell?
I
Oh, I'm all out.
Quantum
love-
fireball spell.
Yeah, I love that you indicated mark down one bookcase of
Right.
Well, then,
scrolls.
when I
It's
go
just
to
a
that's like
bookcase.
when I go to pull these items
Dozens,
out, I'm
maybe
going to be
hundreds of
envisioning the
scrolls.
gigantic wad of papers that I
Yeah.
have, so
Well,
I can
we're-
pull them all out.
We're
right?
going to have to, get an army loaded up with stuff, basically.
Yeah.
just start handing them
I've
out
got
like
ghosts.
rations.
Or we could just dump it out and give it to all the
But
magical
we don't
people.
know what was in there
You
before.
guys are going to see my ability is to materialize all the ghosts around me, and they just pop up. And
That
I'm
would
like,
be
Yeah.
that would be
Wouldn't
pretty
that be
sweet
dope?
if that was real.
Yeah.
I will say that the prisoners are not going to be much help.
Well, Ghoul will be,
Ghoul will be some help, absolutely.
and there's got to be
Uh,
one other adventurer,
Maybe.
like a level.
We'll see.
Like a level
You got a
20.
lot of folks that I got to keep track of. I mean, just Belta and Big Craig, they're just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And they just always go on the bottom of the initiative list. It's like
That's
whatever's
fair.
happening, they're going down here.
Alex, we
fair.
would like to role play maintaining an army.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
With
then,
Yeah.
just let me
Please
get the
accommodate
right
us.
Yeah.
book.
Do you got
specific ranks.
Excel on your laptop? Because
No, we could do strongholds and followers. It'll be the rules are there.
Oh boy.
perfect.
It's just how many rules do I have to make up
Minor
on the fly?
militia. Let's just
Minor
go
militia.
with a minor
Summon
militia.
minor militia.
Summon minor militia. Ooh, that's the next spell I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm a wizard now. I learn spells.
Yeah.
Cross class, just
Cross
now.
class.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
summon minor militia.
But yeah, no, I do for the next session. I want you to think of most of those prisoners as people that can get hurt,
Fodder.
right? People that
You throw 'em out
if you
Yeah, front line.
sure, yeah, just
Yeah.
people you can kill and you don't
Yeah.
need to care about.
Meat wall.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a metal
And
show.
the fact that Perva is on the hunt,
yeah.
and that you guys are split
Yeah.
For now.
for now.
It's going to be real easy to get out of here and get back with the party.
Especially with
Into
these
the
magic gloves.
burning room that we intentionally made extra burny.
We can get out of this room, right? There's like a door.
I feel like there's a chimney in that
There's-
whole escape
yeah, there's-
area.
there's
is
doors.
Oh
just
god, what if
fucked.
they're trapped inside of the little tunnels
Yeah.
and they get smoked and they die?
I
don't have to breathe.
I feel like that's likely.
Oh, that's true. He'll just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That's why I was totally thinking when the library was on fire. I just watched the episode of Game of Thrones where Daenerys locks herself in with all the calls, and she
Oh, and
burns the
sets it on
building
fire,
down, and
yeah.
then she emerges like with the buildings burning down, her clothes are scorched, and all of the Dothraki like bow to her. And I was like, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the new Drescues. Anyway.
All right.
Cool. Well, this has been the Crypt Files, your once weekly follow-up podcast of the Hit the End of the End actual play D&D We Play podcast. And we'll be back here on Monday with follow-up to the Infiltration, the Metal Gear Solid adaptation that we're doing here.
Do I need to switch the controller?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to switch the controller. You got to change out your memory card.
Yeah.
Don't let them read what's up. If it's the old sniper guy, Metal Gear Solid 3, you can just save and come back in 7 days and he's dead.
Yeah, if you want to finish this campaign, you actually have to get another DM.
Oh god, I have to get my girlfriend to play for me.
Yeah. We have to get all of our significant others, and they have to play a session.
That would be
Yeah,
hilarious.
Jeez.
A gender bent
And
episode.
we just have to deal with whatever.
Oh
I
shit.
don't like that.
Oh, I've seen the way my girlfriend plays D&D. No, thank you.
Well, who knows what'll happen next time, but we'll be here. dndpodcast.org or theendoftheend.com. Grab your sword. I know I will. And keep on adventuring.
Oh God.
Did you ever let go?